Hey you, this is Jasim from CodeBand, and in this video we are gonna be automating Instagram profile fetching. Now what I meant by that is I'll give you the overview. We'll go to instagram.com and we'll log in with our credentials, so our username and password, and then we'll log into our account, and then what we'll do is we'll go into a profile. So say for example my profile itself, so that will be based upon the input we provide. We can of course provide like 10 or hundreds of username as the input to this script, and it will go to those profiles one by one. So say for example the first username I provided is mine itself, so Jasim underscore AK. So it'll come to this page here, and then it will fetch all the profile information here. So say for example it will fetch the number of posts I posted, so 76, then the number of followers I do have, and also the number of people I do follow. So it will fetch all these three things, plus it will also fetch this bio information here. All those things it will fetch. So this is an overview, and it of course depends on the number of input. So you can fetch 100 people information, 100 people's information, or you can fetch 10 people. That's up to you. That's up to the input you provide to this script. And not only that, it will fetch these things, and it will store those information into its own separate file, so that we can refer that file for future purposes. Like say for example the first one is Jasim underscore AK, so this information will be stored in Jasim underscore AK.txt, a separate file. And also if the second user, say the one I provided was like ABC, his username is ABC, then all his profile details, the ABC user's profile details, will be stored in abc.txt, a separate file. So each user will have his own separate files where this information will be there. So that's all about the whole idea of what we will be doing in this automation. So with that being said, if you are new to this video, this is a Python automation complete playlist. So I highly recommend you to watch the previous videos where I talk about the introduction and installation part. So I highly recommend you to watch those steps, because otherwise if you start to follow along this video, the installation part I will not be explaining again, so you'll find some trouble here. So I highly recommend you to watch those things. The link will be in the description section to the whole playlist, so that you can watch those things and come back in here. Now one thing I forgot to mention is this is my Instagram profile, so don't forget to follow me. And yeah, with that being said, if you are new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe my channel and click the bell icon near to it. So without any further, let's jump right into it. Alright guys, so back into VS Code where we actually write our code. We are in here now. The basic things that we have done in the previous videos, starting from importing, so from Selenium, import a web driver. And next thing we are doing is, the first thing we need to do is we need to make a separate file. So this is main.py, right, where our main code is being there. Now we'll create a new file in this src folder. So say for example I'll name this as config.py. Now what this does is this file will hold your username and password, so that you can just separate those credentials. Those are secrets, right? So you can separate those things from the original code base, the main.py. So for that, what I'll do is I'll just say username is equal to, and I'll enter my username, and then password is equal to, I'll enter my password as string. So remember the codes around it. So that's what is, in your case, you have to fill this up with your username and your password, your Instagram username and password. So with that being said, back to main.py, I will import those steps. So from config is the file name here. And let me just make this a little bit more wider, or so that you can see that stuff. So from config, I'll get rid of this file stuff here. From config, import the import username and password, just like that. So we are importing from this file the username and the password, so that you can use that in this main.py. Now that's over. Now the next thing we'll be using is the regular one we have done in the previous videos. We'll say browser is equal to webdriver.chrome. I'm using Chrome, so webdriver.chrome. On the first argument, or the executable path is equal to, we'll just paste that from the other one, from the other script, meaning the previous videos we have done that. Where is the path? Now again, if you are new to this playlist, then I have put the link in the description section. You can just go through those previous videos where I talk about this executable path and installation stuff. So just watch that and come back in here. So I'll paste this executable path in here, just like that. And now, yeah, that is being done. Now the first thing I have to do is I want to go to instagram.com. So I'll say like browser.get, and I'll just say like https www.instagram.com, just like that. Now it'll open the browser and go to instagram.com. Now let me run the script so that we can see the kind of output. So I'll say like python 3, I'm in src folder, so I have to go to src folder. I'm in the root folder now, so src/main.py. So if I say like that, it will open. I believe it's not there. So it didn't open up. That's because I haven't saved my file. So I'll just say Ctrl S so that it gets saved. Now if I say python 3 main.py, it opened instagram.com. So now our task is to give these inputs, the username and the password. So for that, what I'll do is I'll just click on this stuff here, and I'll click on right click and say inspect here, and it will open this stuff. Now you can just you can just click on this one, the selector here. So let me make this a bit more wider so that you can see. So just click on this icon here and select this one here, so that the code behind rendering this one is here. So as always in the previous videos, this is an input field and it has a name of username. So we know how to fetch that. So that's a quick challenge for you. Go write the code here to fetch that element, that input. And also another challenge for you is to find the password the same exact way, the input field, and also write those code here. So post the video and hope you'll do that on your own. So yeah, with that being said, it's pretty much simple. You can just go to here, and this is an input with the username and the password field. I'll click on this one again, and the password field, it is again an input with the name of password. So it's pretty much simple to fetch those things. So I'll just say like username field is equal to we'll say like browser dot find element by name. So where is it? Find elements, not elements, by the way. Find element, we need to fetch a single element. So find element by name, and the name here is username, just like that. And also in order to fetch the password field, I'll just say like the same stuff. So password field is equal to browser dot find element by name, not elements, just element. and I'll just say like password here. So it's being fetched. Now the next thing we have to do is we need to send keys to this stuff. We need to send our username to this field, and we need to send the password to this field here. So that's our next task. So we fetched the username field. Now we can just say like username dot send underscore keys is equal to not equal to, by the way, it's a method here. So username field dot send keys of, then I need to pass that username. Now remember, we created our own config.py file where we wrote our username and password, so we can just say like send keys of just username, and that will do the trick. Now the same exact thing here, the password field dot send keys, and I can just say like password here, so that will do the trick. So yeah, with this one it will automatically send those username and password, and now the task is to log in. So clicking the login button here. So for that, again, we'll select that element with this icon here and selecting this one. So you can see that it is a division, and yeah, inside that you can see that the button here. So it's not an input type equal to submit, but instead it is button type equal to submit. So in the previous video we talked about input type equal to submit, but it's exactly the same way, except the name is button here instead of input. So again, a quick challenge to fetch this one here on your own. So give it a try. So in my case, what I'll do is come back into here. I'll just say like login underscore btn. btn stands for button. Browser dot find element by css selector. So not elements here, again it's element. And what I'll do is I'll just say like the button, and in parentheses or in square brackets I need to specify the attribute. So type is equal to, I'll say like submit. So what this does is by using CSS selector, we are fetching the button that has a type of submit, just like that. And now we can just say like login button dot click, so it will click that login button, and we are logged in with this line of code here. So again, I'll put some sleep so that it doesn't blot up our code. So I'll just say like time dot sleep. So just wait for maybe 2 seconds, and before that I'll import time. So from, or I can just say like import time, just like that, and the time.sleep.to. and yeah, with that being said, if I save the script and if I run the code again, now you can see that it goes to instagram.com, wait for 2 seconds, and yeah, it doesn't actually send those inputs, right? So that's because I haven't provided my username and password here. So I'll just quickly provide that and come back. So now everything is clear. I'll run the code again. So in your case, it will be fine in the first try itself because you have provided your correct username and password. So there will be no issue with your side. So yeah, we got that, instagram.com. Now this time it's slow because we have a lot of Chrome being opened here. So that's why, yeah, it input that username and password, and what you know, it just logged me into the account. So that's working perfectly fine. So yeah, our basic logging in is done. Now the next thing we have to do is we need to go into the user's profile and fetch those things. So before that, I'll just close all these stuffs here so that it will be much faster than what we have. So yeah, I have closed all those steps. Now the next thing we have to do is just go into a profile that we provide as input. So what I'll do is I'll just say like at the top, users is equal to, now this is a list of user names. So what I'll do is the first element, it's my on profile. Now I'll also enter some other profile. Now this is up up to you, the users whom you want to fetch the profile. So it can be 10 people or 100 people, that's up to you. You can just provide in this manner, or you can just say like users is equal to, you can fetch with input, so inputting from the console itself. You can do in either way, but I'll prefer this one, so a list of this one. So this is my username, and I'll also fetch some other things. So I'll go to maybe my friend's username, so I'll fetch this username. Now you can just fetch the username from here. You can see that here up at the top in the URL, so just like that, and I'll just fetch that. Now again, I'll also fetch another one, so I'll fetch my other friend here. So yeah, this one, so his username, and again you can also copy that from here as well, the username itself. So I'll paste that in here. So these three peoples, I want to fetch the details, the number of posts, the followers following, and the bio, all those stuffs I want to fetch for these three people. So that's okay. Now we need to go to we need to write the logic to fetch those things. So for that, what we'll do is we'll loop through that. So for user in users, so what this does is users is our list here, this one. So for user in users means it'll take each of the users. So first it'll take this one, then this one, and then finally this one. So we are looping through that, and now we need to go to that profile page. So I need to go to this person's profile page. So for that, what I'll do is, you can just see that I'll get rid of this other part here, so the question mark and all those stuff. So you can see that the profile is in this format, instagram.com/username. So this is the format I have to follow. So let's copy this one here and come back into here. Now what you can do is you can just say like browser.get. So the same thing that we have done before, where we fetched where we opened instagram.com, will again open this URL. So this is this URL, the profile URL. Now we don't want this one to be hard coded. We want this to come dynamically from the list that we have provided. So the user variable will hold these names, these usernames. So I can just say like user here. So in curly braces I can say like user. Now in order to use this curly braces syntax, I want to transform this to an F string. So this is just Python thing. So I'll just say like F, and in double quotes what I can do is I can just say like https instagram.com, and in curly braces user, which means here it comes the dynamic content. So here we don't want it to be hard coded, so the user will be dynamically changed over this loop. So initially it will be this person, then this person, and then it will be this person. So that's what this does, is it's dynamic. This one is this one, fine, and that's okay. So it'll take his profile page, and now what we can do is we need to grab those details, right? We need to grab this posts, followers, and following, and all those stuff. So for that, what I'll do is we'll run the code from here, and then we'll investigate, or we'll find those classes or those things. So for that, I'll just save the script here, and I'll first maybe what I'll do is I'll just make this one to be 1 for debugging purposes. So just that one, just my profile itself. And what we'll do is we'll run the script again, but this time we'll also include an additional flag -i, which means interactive Python shell. So we are running this program interactively. Now you'll get an idea once we actually hit that, once we actually do some stuff with that interactive shell. So yeah, we just got redirected to this one, instagram.com/jasimak, which is this URL here. So it fetched this one, and it goes to this one as well. So now we need to find these things, these three things, right? So for that, what you can do is, as always, you can you can just what you can do is you can just go to this stuff here. by inspecting. So I'll just say like double click and right click, inspect, and we'll take this stuff here. So before that, I'll just make this a little bit more wider. So let me make this console as well. So I'll click on this icon here and we'll go to this one here, and then you can see that the 76 here. So that's basically a span with a class of G47SY. Now if we look into the other one, the followers, again it's a span with a class, the same class as you might have noticed. Again, if we go into the following, again the same span with the class of G47SY. So both of these three has the same class, and so we can just fetch those with the class name, I believe. So what we'll do is, in order to fetch that, let me try that in the console here. Now remember, we are in the interactive shell, so we can just write, the script is not yet closed. We can just make some, we can just check if this one exists, and all from here, right from here. So I'll say like maybe some s is equal to, I need to fetch those three things, right? Those post, followers, and following. So for that, I'll just say like browser dot, and we'll say like find elements. Now this time it's elements because these three has the same class G47SY. So since it has the same class, if we say like find elements, then it will fetch all those three things as a list, so that we can just separate those content out from the list, right? So we can just say like find elements by maybe we'll also use C as the selector here. We can of course use class name and stuff like that. So say for example, you can use like browser dot find elements by class name, this one here. That's up to you, you can use that. Now we'll use the class name, and that's because it is more precise in this case. So we'll just copy this stuff here, browser dot find elements by class name. So I'll get rid of the find elements by CSS selector. I'll just paste that browser dot find elements by class name, and the class name here is this one, G47, this stuff here. So I'll just copy that and we'll just paste that in, and I'll just get rid of the trailing space there. So just get rid of that, and yeah, that's it. Now if I click enter, and we got something, we didn't get any errors. So if I say like S, then you got a list of items. So you can see if we check s.length, we got not s.length, that's something we have to do in JavaScript. It's len of s. So you got 3, which means we got those 3 things: the post, the followers, and following. So if I say like this is a list, right? So s is a list, so I can just say like s of 0. So it gave me the first one, the post, but it didn't give me that 76 here, but instead it gave me that element. Now in order to fetch that content there, in order to fetch the inside content, so in this case 76, what I can do is I can just say like s of 0, which means the first element in the list dot text, and that gives me 76. So it's totally working perfectly fine. Now if we want to get the second one, the following, I believe, no, the followers, that's the first element in the list. So s of 1 dot text, and it gives me 572, and the following, it's the thing that you guessed by now. So s of 2 dot text, and it gives me that stuff. So totally working fine. Now with this being said, we can just use this code here to actually grab that thing. So I'll rewrite the code to here. So what I'll do is I'll just say like now remember, we can just grab this, we can just destructure this list into its separate variable. So we can pull out those 3 values into 3 separate variables. So what I meant by that is I can just say like post, comma, followers, comma, following, That's the pattern here. Posts, followers, and following is equal to browser.find elements by class name, and I can just say that G47 without that trailing space there. And what this does is, this one gives you a list of 3 elements. So if I say like 3 variables here, the first element will go to posts, second element will go to followers, and third element will go to following. So pulling out the values from the list, that's what I have done here. So with that being said, we got all those stuff. Now let me print this stuff. So print post dot text, just like that, and also the followers dot text, and also the last one, the following dot text. Now let me run the code again so that we can see what's happening there. So let me close this stuff here, and I'll show you the script again. So I'll also exit from the console here. So I'll just say like exit here, and if I run the code again, and you can see it goes to instagram.com, inputs those username and password and all those stuff. Now there is a slight mistake you might have noticed, that we are not logged in, although we click that login button. Now that's because it's so fast that's happening. So we need to provide some sort of the sleep. So we'll provide some 2 seconds gap before we actually enter into that profile. So with that being said, I'll just close this stuff. Now you can also close that browser from here, because we are in the interactive shell now. So I can just say like browser.quit, and it will just close that stuff. Now browser is this variable, not a Chrome browser or Mozilla. It's just that variable there. Now I'll exit out of the console here, and I'll just run the script again, and it'll go to Instagram, wait for 2 seconds, username, password, again wait for 2 seconds, and yeah, now I believe there is some slight not enough values to unpack. Now that's because again this 2 seconds is not enough, because this error is in line 28, which means this one. So before going into this one, it actually tried to fetch this step. So what you can do is, I'll just give 5 seconds. Now we'll talk about another cool solution to curb this problem. Now in this case, even if the page is loaded within 2 seconds, we have to additionally wait for 3 seconds, and we'll give you a solution in future videos on how to fix this problem with some waits. So with that being said, if I save that, and I'll just exit out of the console, and if I run the script again, I'll just close the first one there. So it goes to instagram.com, and inputted those things, and goes to it is going into the profile page. And if we come back into here, what do you know, we got that stuff here, 76, 572, and 1260. So it's perfectly working fine. Now the task is to fetch the bio here. So that's a quick challenge for you to try. It's absolutely the same way we have did for this one, and you can, of course, I believe you can by now solve this problem, solve this fetching this bio here. So give it a try, and in my case, what I'll do is, again, I'll just right click, inspect here, and come back into here, the selector here, and I'll just zoom this up a little bit, and we'll just click on this stuff here, maybe the whole stuff, the whole paragraph. We need to click the whole paragraph, not just the single items. So I'll click on that, and we got that division with a class of VDIG. So that's pretty much it. I believe we got all those steps there, all those details. So we need to fetch this division with a class of this stuff here. So I'll just copy the class name here and back into the script. What you can do is, I'll just say like bio is equal to browser dot find element by not XPath by class name, and we'll provide that class name there, and that's okay. Now the next thing, we got that element. Now we need to do the same stuff. We need to print that inner text. We need to print the text inside this text, not that element. This is now a WebDriver element. We need to print that bio.text, so it will give you that text there. Now with that being said, if I exit out of the console, if I run the code again just like that, so I'll just quit the other shell there, so back into here. It is taking a little bit, so yeah, we got that stuff. Now we'll go into that profile page. Yeah, it is going. Now it fetched all those stuff back into the console. What do you know? It fetched all those followers, posts and all, plus it also fetched that bio information here. So super cool. It's working totally fine. Now the task is very simple. I have said we'll create separate files for storing this information, so it's pretty much simple. We don't have to do much with the Selenium, but instead what we'll do is some Python stuff here. So before that, we'll basically I'll say like the other users, I'll fetch those other users. So let me fetch that one as well. Let me fetch this user here. So yeah, these three users we have. Now in order to actually get that file stuff, so for that what you can do is I'll first of all give this stuff an indentation so that it's in the block in the for loop. So we'll first fetch the first user, and then we'll go to his profile page. We'll fetch all his information, bio and all. Now we need to we have already taken this information. Now we need to pass that information or store that into its own file. So for that, what I'll do is with open. So with open, we are opening a file. So the file name here is again dynamic based upon the username. So I'll use f strings here, and what we'll do is the file name, the first one is user, the current user, which means the current user in the sense it will be this one at first and second and third. So based upon that user, we need to make a file name, so a file, so user.txt. And now the second argument to the open is the reading or writing, what mode we need to open this file. So if we are reading this file or writing or appending, so in this case we are writing into that file. Now as file, so this is just a name so that you can use this file. So this is up to you. You can use file or f or something like that. And now we'll just say like file.write. And then what we'll write is the post, the bio and all those stuff. So I'll again use the f string here. Yeah, let me wait. Yeah, f strings here. So what I'll do is f, then I'll say something like number of posts, and then I'll make this caps, number of posts. And now we will do some dynamic content. So posts dot text, so this stuff here, post dot text that we have done in that print statement, and then we'll make a line break. So next to the next line, then we'll say like followers, and we'll say like post, not post actually, followers dot post, dot post dot text. So then we'll make again a line break, and then we'll say like following. So I'll quickly do this and come back. I'll just fast forward this stuff.
I'll say like the following dot text. So that's okay. Now we'll also grab that bio here. So I'll do a double slashing so that we have two line breaks, and then we'll say like bio and a colon, again a line break, then we'll say like bio dot text.
Just like that. Now with this being said, everything will be there. Now if I save this stuff here, and if I run the code again, I'll exit out of this one, and if I'll also close this current browser session here, and if I run this one again, and it'll go to instagram.com, it'll log into your account, and then it'll go to that profile page, so one by one. So first it'll go here. Now you can see it's pretty much fast here, and let us check if everything is there. So if you go to my file manager, you can see we got those files. We have that three files here. So you can see his profile here, you can see my profile here, and you can see that the other one's profile here. So we got separate files for each of the individual. So each of the persons, we have three persons, we got three files, totally working perfectly fine. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And yeah, that's about it. And I believe this is the end of the video. This is the end of the automation. We have done a lot, we have checked a lot. Now this is up to you. You can of course do any of the inputs, any number of users. And also let me give a time.sleep here so that it's not too fast. So let me give you 3 seconds or 2 seconds, that's up to you. You can give so that there is some gap between fetching those users information. So with this being said, everything is perfect. And last thing to note is that I'll just close this stuff here, and have created a GitHub repository for all these Python automation playlists. So you can just go through this one. I'll put the link in the description section, and don't forget to put a star here. And also you can see that in the branches section we have those. The first automation is here, Google search automation, the previous video, and the second one we have the Instagram auto profile fetch. We have that complete source here so that you can just go through that if something went wrong in your site. We have that all those code here. That's up to you. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And if you have any doubts or any sorts of suggestions, please let me know in the comment section below. And also, if you like the video, don't forget to like and share to your connections as well. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please don't forget to subscribe my channel and click the bell icon near to it. So thank you guys, thank you for watching. We'll see you in the very next